Who has accustomed President Macron to a life of luxury? How does the French leader masterfully evade taxes? Stay tuned and we'll tell you the secrets of all leaders' lives. Hello dear friends, Emmanuel Macron is likely to go down in history as the president of the rich. This nickname the politician got because he replaced the solidarity tax on wealth with a tax on expensive real estate, thus taking stocks, bonds and other securities out of taxation. However, the French rebuke him not only for giving a gift to the country's wealthiest citizens, but also for the huge sums he spent on maintaining his luxurious lifestyle. The president's passion for luxury, instilled by his wife Brigitte, is what we are going to talk about today. The dough is immense. In June 2018, a scandal erupted in France. It emerged that President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte had bought an extremely expensive 1,200-piece dinner and banquet set at the Élysée Palace for official dinners and banquets. The First Lady chose it herself, and the purchase was worth 50,000 euros. At the same time, many French media concluded that the stated price of the service is understated by almost 10 times, and in reality it costs about 500,000 euros. The president's entourage have tried to explain that terrines, plates and many other table items were brought during Jacques Chirac's presidency, and some were bought under René Coty in 1950s. The palace was already complaining that some items were missing and that the tableware itself was getting old. The new service was ordered from the Sèvres-Proclain manufactory, which has supplied the Élysée Palace since 1848. The purchase was announced a couple of days after a video of the president discussing his spending using exotic colloquial language and complaining about state expenditure on social welfare was circulated on the social networks. Look at our social assistance programs. We invest a lot of money in social programs, but people still live in poverty. They cannot get out of it. People born into poverty remain poor. We have to figure out how to help those people get out of there, the leader said. Tens of thousands of euros for a makeover. Outraged French people have begun accusing Macron of treating the poor with contempt, reminding him that he and his wife have a lavish lifestyle and do not scheme on their wardrobe. In August 2017, for example, it emerged that the president had spent 26,000 euros on the services of his personal makeup artist in just 3 months in power, which is about 8,600 euros per month. This money was spent on makeup and facials. The head of state decided to celebrate his 40th birthday with his family in the luxurious Chambord Castle, south of Paris. After another year, the president once again surprised the French with a surprise holiday, citing excessive fatigue. Together with his wife, he went on a 4-day holiday to Honfleur, the picturesque little port town in Normandy the French Impressionist painters have often praised in their work. The couple stayed at La Ferme Saint-Simeon, considered one of the most romantic and luxurious accommodations. The 7th century mansion is situated on a picturesque hill overlooking the lovely lights of the Seine. It was Brigitte who instilled such a lavish lifestyle in Macron. She was born into the family of a famous Amiens pastry chef who became a millionaire. Her ancestors moved to the city back in 1872 and became famous immediately for the production of chocolates and the local version of macarons. Brigitte was used to surrounding herself with expensive items from a young age and wore chic outfits from famous fashion houses. The First Lady has always loved Louis Vuitton and wore clothes designed by art director Nicolas Gasquet. She attended her friends' fashion shows even before she became a public figure. She also wore clothes from other classic French brands such as Balmain, Courrèges and Dior, wrote the American edition of the New York Times. At 67, Brigitte is not shy about wearing short skirts. They have become an integral part of her wardrobe. On the day of the inauguration of Emmanuel Macron, she appeared in a sky blue Louis Vuitton suit, the skirt of which was 10 centimeters above the knee. The French First Lady also adores little white dresses, showing off her slender figure and beautiful legs. Her wardrobe is stocked with long fitted blazers, double-breasted coats and expensive pumps. Bibi and Manu. Much about Bibi and Manu's relationship. The diminutive pet names Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron use in their personal communication. The French learned from journalist Maël Brand's book Brigitte Macron Frankly. The future head of state was a pupil of Brigitte Tronger. They rehearsed plays together in the theater circle. The young man was not embarrassed by the fact that his sweetheart was 24 years older than him. On his 17th birthday, He allegedly promised her, "No matter what you do, no matter how much you avoid me, I will marry you." Madame Trounier was married with 3 children, and at first she only laughed at Emmanuel Macron's words. In 1993, the future president of France wrote an erotic novel on 300 pages, which he dedicated to his teacher. The young man asked his neighbor to type it. She later recalled that it was a very sensual and in some places salacious novel, the main purpose of writing which was to express feelings for Brigitte. However, the manuscript of this novel the woman did not survive. Subsequently, Trounier divorced her husband and went to live with Macron. "We were together, inseparable, against all odds. I soon had her children in my life, their spouses, our grandchildren. Our family is the foundation of my whole life," Macron wrote in his program book, The Revolution. So Trounier divorced her husband and began living with Macron. The couple married in 2007. The marriage ceremony took place with the couple's family and friends at villa owned by Brigitte, located in a fashionable beach resort of La Touquet. This is where the couple sometimes stayed during the summer. They also visit the summer residence of French President at Château de Brégançon on the Côte d'Azur. By the way, not all French leaders like this palace. Chirac considered it a boring prison, and François Hollande, who has visited the residence only once, came to the conclusion that the castle is difficult to protect from the increased media attention. However, the Macrons liked the Fort de Brégançon. They began to rearrange the building according to their wishes. A 20 square meter, 1.2 meter deep swimming pool was demounted on the side. A beautiful garden has been laid out in front of the residence with a pergola overlooking the sea and the cliffs. There is also a helipad. The head of state's beach is guarded by a detachment of gendarmes. In total, maintenance of the president's summer residence costs the French treasury €200,000 per year. The untidy Macron. Macrons have spent most of their time at the Élysée Palace, the permanent official residence of French rulers since 1873. The elegant building on Rue Faubourg Saint-Honoré in the 8th arrondissement is located in the heart of Paris. The main hall of the palace is decorated with purple brocade curtains, huge chandeliers, and gilded columns. The chefs working at the Élysée Palace are particularly renowned. Each year, they prepare about 95,000 different dishes for state receptions. It is believed that even the Chancellor of Germany sent her chef to Paris to upgrade her skills. Brigitte Macron, by the way, is one of the most popular first ladies in the country. She is known to receive several hundreds of letters which arrive at the Élysée Palace every day under her name. For comparison, former First Lady Carla Bruni received around 35 messages. Mostly, Brigitte is written by grateful French women, calling the First Lady an example of how to look attractive at any age. The French are most skeptical of Macron himself. It is often recalled that while he was head of the Ministry of the Economy, he spent 80% of the money allocated to him for hospitality in 8 months on his personal expenses. The amount in question was €120,000. This money was used to pay for lunches with trade union leaders, popular artists and religious figures, among others. He was looking for contacts and friendship with influential people who could help him during the presidential campaign. The Anti-Corruption Association, Antico, had already tried to expose the politician for financial impropriety. Staff have asked the High Authority for Transparency in Public Life, HATVP, to check Macron's tax returns. Of most interest is the valuation of the politician's real estate holdings. Antico representatives believe that the president understated the value of one of the properties by $200,000. This allowed him to stay within the legally prescribed limits, not to get into the category of wealthy people and thus not pay the higher tax rate. The luxurious flat of the Macrons in the 15th arrondissement in Paris also raises big questions. It is believed that the market value of the flat in the area has risen by at least a third. However, according to official papers, its value has only increased by 5%. How much do you think the world's most expensive croissant costs?